If you have sound... Oh, wait. Let's do this first. We'll do this first. Strange. If you have sound sensitivity, please turn your volume down now, as I'm going to ring the singing bowl just for a moment. Kind of open everything up. Perfect. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you had a pleasant day. We got some stuff going on for us this weekend. Woo! Big weekend. Let's see where we're at with the collective energies. What storyline Spirit would like to share with you most on this Friday, prepping us for this 3-day weekend. Spirit, what storyline would you like to share with the collective at this time, please? What storyline would you like to share with the collective at this time? All right. In the central energy. In the central energy, we've got 9 of Cups reversed. Somebody failed. They've lost their wealth and they're being arrogant. Challenged by? Page of Swords reversed. We've got gossip, boisterous gossip. In the subconscious, the Chariot. They want to get on your chariot. They're thinking about the control you wield. They're confident that they're going to turn this around in the recent past. 5 of Swords, a defeat or abuse and conflict. A defeat. It's a defeat and a 2 of Wands. So there's been a defeat. They were defeated or whatever in this conflict. Or maybe they're making plans for future conflict. we'll need to clarify. There's a defeat followed by planning for the future. Conflict followed by planning for the future. I really need to get some glycerin or something. I ran out of finger tacky. Intentions and expectations. Five of Pentacles, poverty, scandal, hardship. Scandal, gossip. They want to get in their chariot and run away. Is that what they want to do? In the near future? We've got the Ten of Wands. Oh, what do we got here? Somebody's in a Ten of Wands burden. They're overwhelmed because this High Priestess is shining light on stuff. They could be thinking about a victory that she, with this Chariot here, perhaps this was hers. So a High Priestess is shining a light on stuff here, and that's causing somebody to be overwhelmed. And there's a lot of boisterous gossip going on. They're having hardship. They've lost their cups. They lost 9 cups. Wow, the lens is being looked through. The Knight of Pentacles, protective, conservative, patient. Knight in shining armor. In the environment, 9 of Swords. Somebody's in a nightmare. They can't sleep. They're in fear. It's interesting, you know, you might be getting like threats. You know, some people might be going a little wacko. Hopes and fears. 7 of Wands, battle ready. You're standing up for yourself. Taking high ground. You're being assertive. Or that's what they want to do. Let's see. And the outcome. The Hierophant, tradition, conformity, morality, ethics. God. The Hierophant and the High Priestess here together. Interesting. This is really interesting. And how, you know, it's really curious to me to see how this is playing out. All right. So you've got your 6 of Pentacles here. You're very generous within your community. You're offering a lot of opportunities in your to your community. Okay? Check it out. High Priestess and the Hierophant here. And the Sun. Six of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, many opportunities. This isn't fantasy or an illusion. You have to make decisions. There's a lot of opportunities being gifted charitably, very generously to this community, to the family of the Hierophant and High Priestess. And the Sun's here. Joy, success, celebration, positivity. And you've gained victory over these ones. That's what this is. This is your victory here. They're thinking about. You gained victory, and they're feeling disappointed, and they failed to move against you. You were triumphant. And with the Ace of Wands here, you enthusiastically brought an end to this malarkey. Death. Isn't that interesting? Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. They're being arrogant. They failed and they're being arrogant. They could be verbally abusive. There's a lot of gossip. A lot of boisterous gossip regarding your victory. So, you know, of course, anyone who's remaining alive, probably, you're picking up on them honing in on you, you know, threatening, this is exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. You know, meanies wanting to come in because you took their cups away. You took all their darn cups away. You left them in a Five of Pentacles energy during this conflict, and they're in a Ten of Wands, burdened. And you, because of your victory here with the Hierophant, High Priestess and the Hierophant are victorious here. So what is this? What do we got? You know, this is interesting. They don't know what to do. Nine of Cups reversed. They lost their wealth. They don't know what to do. They're being challenged because there's a lot of boisterous gossip going on. The youngsters are running around gossiping about a detachment. About their detachment. They've been detached from their wealth. And the youth, the Page of Swords reversed maybe, the youth are out there gossiping about your victory. Huh. They've been detached and they're mad. Oh, they're mad. Inseparable. So your victory, you're in an inseparable love. It's always there despite the distance. And you've gained a victory. You're in your chariot. Your willpower is strong. And you've got control of this situation. You detached whoever this is. Whoever this is, they've lost their wealth. And they don't know what to do about it. And everybody's talking about them being detached from what? The wealth? You've got a victory here with the chariot. You're moving forward into an inseparable union, an inseparable love that's despite the distance. This one's there. All their values were all about money, and all their money has been taken away from them. They've been detached. Oh, they're mad. They're mad at you, High Priestess. They're mad at you, Hierophant. That could be God. The Most High God working through this high priestess. That's what this is. They're pissed off because the high priestess is alive and working hand in hand with the Most High, shining a light on the crap that's been going on. And the Most High is like doing this detachment stuff. he's like, oh, so hello. So the high priestess could be a bridge. I think communication might have been disturbed by these ones who were siphoning wealth out of the populace, and the high priestess came back up and said, hello, Daddy. What's happening? What's happening, daughter? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. An inseparable love. So it could be Daddy or it could be the mother and the father. Who knows? Ooh. Ooh. So there is an abuse. There's conflict here. There's defeat. They're making plans for the future, or perhaps you're making plans for the future. Traveling. Got the Chariot here, an inseparable love. And then the Two of Wands there, there's traveling, planning for the future. These ones have been defeated. Ah. Planning for the future. Hearts will be mended. I think the connection between the High Priestess and the Hierophant was fixed. And they're making plans for the future. Forward momentum with the Chariot here. A love that is inseparable. There's no way these two are going to be separated again. If they had ever been separated, that's not going to happen. These ones are suffering. They've been defeated in this conflict. They're in a Five of Pentacles. They lost everything. They've lost all their wealth. They're in a scandal. People are talking. Feeling your absence. Poverty, hardship, feeling your absence. High Priestess. They've been detached from you. And when they got detached from you, they got detached from your wealth and your connections to the Most High. And now the truth is out. Now the truth is out. You're an irreplaceable being. You're an irreplaceable being. Shining a light on these heavy burdens. Somebody is overwhelmed because the truth is out. Oh yeah, they're overwhelmed about this reunion. Somebody is in a 10 of Wands burden, feeling overwhelmed because this High Priestess has been who loves like nobody loves. She's here shining a light on this business. Oh my goodness. Reunited with the Hierophant, the Most High. However you want to look at that. These are divine beings. And they're calling, they're setting stuff straight. An irreplaceable love always comes back to each other. This reminds me of like a few months back when I heard that people must be tested. And I really think that perhaps this High Priestess came here to embed herself into this dynamic. And at the end of a cycle, like in 2023, that was the end of a cycle, she came back up. The light was lit, and she rose back up and shined a light on everything that she had been experiencing while these ones thought she was somebody else. I mean, they knew she had gifts and stuff, but they didn't really know who she was, I don't think. I think they had an idea, but they didn't really think, because they just don't think really. This High Priestess could be the mother, the actual divine mother, who came here to embed herself within this malarkey so that, and to take all this pain so that at the end of this cycle, she could reconnect with the Most High God and say, this is the truth. Look at the Akashic. Look at the life experiences. Look at everything that has been seen and witnessed. And then opening up everything and connecting to everything like the Most High does. 10,000 eyes, 10,000 ears, or however that goes. So there is a reunion here, an irreplaceable reunion. And you're seen as irreplaceable. High Priestess. Pooh. Boom! They were not expecting that. They were not expecting this child. To be the mother. Undercover mission. Undercover. They want to escape. They want to escape this new chapter. It's a new chapter. They're overwhelmed. They want to escape their... Oh, they got overwhelmed here twice. What do you know? 10 of Wands, overwhelm, and overwhelm. And they want to escape. They're getting the screws put to them. I'd say by the Most High God. Heavenly Father, Divine Father. High Priestess could be Divine Mother, or it could be daughter. However you want to look at that. Could actually be daughter. Came here on a mission. I don't know. You're going to have to take it as it resonates for you. Either or. Divine Feminine. In all of her many forms. If that is the mother, then she is all forms of youth, of old age, it's an inseparable love that is always there despite the distance. Everything she went through, she may have like not really been, like they may have really messed up. These ones were really doing mental stuff. And it was cycle after cycle through the generations, through the birthing processes. Cycle after cycle. And then this last one was just atrocious with all of the injections that were going into the bioform. Man. Hundreds of foreign substances being pumped into the temple that houses the soul, the divine essence. Genetic alterations and everything. So you've got a protector here. The lens that's being looked through is there's protection. You've got a knight in shining armor, or there's somebody here. You're protected, or somebody's being protected. Somebody's patient. We got a third party here. Perhaps you're being protected by this, from this third party. They're in overwhelm. They're trying to escape. They're like trying to come in. They might want to be coming in acting like they are a protector, tentatively. They're a third party. They're in a nightmare. They're full of anxiety and fear because of how they live their life as a third party. Destroying love and loving unions. Hopes and fears. We got a 7 of Wands. Battle ready. Standing up for yourself. Taking the high ground. They can't reach you now. Or those who are stuck in the shadows are getting ready for battle. They're getting battle ready. They have to go fight with the shadow now. Like you did, most likely, while you were buried under that mess. They have to get battle ready. You stood up for yourself. And the Hierophant is here. The Most High God is here. Working with the High Priestess. Reunited. In a soul tie. Inseparable. Going places soon. There's disagreements regarding soul contracts and destinies. The reflections, those who played in the shadows and were lying about everything, they want to run away. Because there's an understanding of what they've been doing. And they want forgiveness. They were just unsatisfied with the way things were going. So they thought that what they were doing was the way to get it out of ego. And they missed their opportunity. They made mistakes. They wound up missing their opportunity. They messed it all up for themselves. They thought causing pain for others was the way to gain with God. So in the central energy, we've got somebody who's lost all their wealth. They've been unlucky. They don't know what to do. They failed. In their arrogance, they failed. They failed to blame the High Priestess for whatever stuff they were trying to blame her for. Adversity. They were bringing adversity. There's balance being brought to this adversity. There's balance being brought to this adversity. This person's a thief. And they've lost. They don't know what to do because they've lost everything, because balance is being restored to the adversity that they were causing. They're challenged because they've been detached and everybody's talking about it very boisterously. There's a lot of gossip. Isn't that funny that, the one who loves to gossip about people can't stand it when people gossip about them? Grief. They're in grief. They've been detached and they're in grief. They're thinking about the Chariot here and your inseparable union. The fact that maybe your willpower and you're going places. You're making, there's movement happening. Everything's moving around, shifting. You're intimately connected in love with this Hierophant. The High Priestess and the Hierophant are like together, and they've gained a victory over this. It's like they're flipping tables. It's like the tables are flipping. That metaphor in the Bible that I heard about, that everybody heard about, it's kind of like that's happening right now with these people, as wealth, whose values were all about money. It's kind of like the tables are being flipped on them. That's wild. I never thought about that before. Death. They're angry. They think if they can take out this high priestess that they will be able to stop this from happening. There was a rumor that the Christ being or whatever was going to be feminine this time, and that she had to die too, meaning that these fallen or whoever, these ones that siphon off of the essence of the brightest stars and whatever, holy whatever, that they were going to actually physically do whatever or whatever. I don't even know how that's going to go down, but let's check it out. Let me see this. Spirit, please show me yes. Thank you. Please show me no. Thank you. Is there a feminine Christed being here right now that connected with the Most High God? Thank you. Is she going to have to be sacrificed in the 3D realm in order for people to live or whatever? Thank you. Is she going to continue living in the 3D realm? Thank you. And is the Most High going to be here with her? Thank you. So they're clearing the foundation of all those who have been using people as battery sources, energetic battery sources. Thank you. And they're also recovering all of the land and all of the wealth and all of the love that had been stolen, harvested, and worn and spent erroneously by frauds, thieves. And those who had stolen all of this wealth while punishing those who actually were the manufacturers and people who deserved it are going to be eliminated from this realm. Thank you. And those would be the fallen, are going to get an opportunity to actually die. Thank you, Spirit. I've been thinking about that, because like the fallen, it said that they can't die. And it's like what's happening right now is like they're getting an opportunity to die like everybody else, That's kind of what I'm getting. When he says that this is the end of their relationship with batteries, that tells me that, they're going to die. And it's right here too. Their values were all about money, and to them the money was vitality. It was the spiritual inheritance, your love. They don't get that anymore. It was all your pentacles. They don't get that anymore. All your money, everything, your vitality, your love, your material thing. Yeah, your love. But you're here, so they've been defeated in this conflict. You're making plans for the future. You are here in love. Your heart will mend. Your heart is, there. Two hearts are as one. Hierophant, High Priestess are sewn together, inseparable in this chariot. No matter where one goes, the other goes, and they're not going anywhere. No matter what is said and no matter what threats are made, they're not going anywhere. They're in overwhelm. They got a Five of Pentacles here, poverty. They're feeling your absence because they're seriously in a bad way. And people are talking about it. They're embarrassed. They're in grief. They're in fear. So they're wanting to punish you, High Priestess. Hierophant. They want to punish you because you persevered through all of their attempts to bury you and make you disappear. You came out, all of a sudden you were like, all of a sudden you're like, bling, 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 bling. The light came on. And God said, whoa, what's happening down there? And there he is. Soul tie, inseparable, taking this person right out of there. It's like, oh, and it was all planned, you know, and people must be tested. The Most High God knew what he was doing, and so did this High Priestess when she came into this experience. They knew exactly what was going on. They knew exactly that at the end of that cycle, there was going to be the purification and then the enlightenment, the connection, and the elimination of all of those who did not pass their test. It was a plan that third-party passion people tried to hijack. They thought that having sex with everybody and being cruel was the way to go. They're in a nightmare. They're in a nightmare over this passion. Or maybe they're in a nightmare over your passion. Maybe they're in a nightmare over the passion between this High Priestess and this Hierophant. Like together, in this heart-to-heart connection with the Hierophant and the High Priestess together, boom. They're in fear because she persevered. They're overwhelmed, times two, overwhelmed, overburdened, overworked, trying to escape. Because she persevered and there's a new chapter. She's persevered, she's healthy, and she's at peace. Oh my goodness. She not only did she persevere, but she's healthy and at peace. Restoring balance to all of this adversity, bringing a death to those who did not pass the test. And I guess a death could mean just an end of financial security, material wealth, love, abundance of love. Like they were really coming hard at it, so they're losing it all. Everything that she came here giving to the realm, and they tried to, you know how difficult it's been. You know what happened to you. But boy, oh boy, did they underestimate you. Did they underestimate you and your connection to the Most High? Did they underestimate you and your ability to withstand adversity? They're worried. You're protective. There's a Knight of Pentacles here, a Knight of Shining Armor. Protective, conservative, patient, tentative. And there's this third party here. What's going on with this? Is he trying to... What's going on with this? Let's see. Discipline. No discipline. Oops, I got two cards. Trying to escape judgment. This is a third party person with no discipline trying to get out of judgment. They're coming forward, offering their services. They're trying to escape judgment. They're in a nightmare over their participation in this sexual third party, whatever. They're in fear. Because the truth is out. They're getting battle ready. They're getting ready to battle the shadow side. Now they got to go fight those demons they sent after you. High Priestess. They're in regret. You know, they were confused, most likely, why they couldn't take you out. Why were you still alive? Why are you here shining your light? What the heck happened? You know, but rather than thinking logically or considering what was actually happening, they just went harder. They're having doubt. They're full of doubt. They got to get battle ready for the shadow side. The Hierophants here regarding soul ties, they're always connected to this High Priestess. Always connected to this High Priestess, meaning this Hierophant knew what was happening to her the whole time, even if she didn't. He was telepathically connected to her the whole time, even if these ones thought they had severed that connection. And he was fully aware of everything that she was experiencing, feeling, thinking. And she was expanding and growing and overcoming, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, transmuting all of this adversity like a true High Priestess, even if she wasn't aware that that's what she was in all this adversity. She was intimately connected with the Hierophant and she was transmuting. That's why she's alive. It's that inner voice. That inner voice that was leading her. Even if she wasn't aware of it. Ensuring success. The Master. Ensuring that she would be free. They would never obtain her like they thought they were. Like she may have thought they were. But I don't think she thought so. I think that somewhere deep inside her, she was like, she knew this was going to work out. She just had to be patient and persevere. What is the instruction? Learn as much as you can, about as much as you can. Be patient and persevere. The relationship that serves the highest good was always mentally connected. This Hierophant, the Most High, knew what they were doing to her mind. They knew exactly how they tried to tear it apart. He was with her the whole time. The whole time. It's amazing, how the Most High can be so quiet at times. You would not even know that He's there, allowing you the fullness of the experience, allowing you to gain as much information and strength from it as possible. And you did so, with courage. With courage, you expanded in consciousness and awareness, with courage and gratitude. And that's what got you through it. All of this and this blind faith. And blind faith we got another card here. What's that? Oh, they're worried about that. They're really worried about that. They're worried about your growth, the growth, because so much knowledge was gained, so much was done against her, and they were certain that she would never, ever, ever reconnect, even though they weren't aware that there was never an actual disconnect. They were so certain that they would never reconnect, that they had it made, that they really did everything with gusto and glee. And this high priestess was giving thanks for the pain, giving thanks for being shown how resilient she is, giving thanks for being shown how she could persevere through so much, being shown how strong she truly is, living life with gratitude. Thank you to the Most High God for allowing me to see this in me, that never would you had known that this was in you if you hadn't witnessed it for yourself. And He allowed her to witness it in herself, and to expand in consciousness and awareness into growing, like up through the dimensions. Like, this is a graduation. This is like heavy, man. And she whoop. And now she's not here. She's not at level whatever now. She's at level blah, blah up here. And she did so with great courage. Great, great courage. While the masculine in this particular realm was trying to just crush her, like a little walnut or something. Crush, bury, in blame and shame. Mess the mind. Threaten, harm. And all the while, see, that's the high priestess. Steady. Settled. And perhaps not, there could have been many cycles where she was dressed up in karmic energy while her essence was drained out and then worn by others. And she could have been dressed up in karmic energy, experiencing all those shadowy places like the bar, drinking, whatever, meeting people in those spaces and places, getting in touch with the essence of they, sending back that information to the Hierophant. What's happening in this space and place of suffering? What's happening in this space and place of suffering? Who's here? Who are they in the essence? Talk to them. What's going on in their mind? What's their story? This high priestess planted herself in some of the worst case scenarios and got to know the people there and what was bringing them there, what was keeping them there. And not only them, she was also undergoing the same trials and tribulations that they were facing, authentically, truthfully, because she probably didn't recognize herself. Especially if the mind was wiped during rebirth cycles and such. But this last cycle, though, the Most High came back and He put her back online. purified her, brought her back up, shined that light, and said, "Blue." And the rest is soon to be history. God may decide to walk among you with the mother in the middle realm. Oh my goodness. Loneliness in the reverse. Balance is being restored. There won't be any more loneliness. You're not going to be, or this high priestess isn't going to experience any more loneliness. She's not alone anymore. Perhaps she was alone. But there's no more disappointment, no more isolation. They had her isolated. And the Most High God came and brought her out of isolation at the end of the hour. At the end of 2023, he brought her out of isolation, polished her up, and said, okay, what's happening here? And now he's wreaking havoc all over everybody. That's what they tried to prevent. They needed her buried and gone. They did not want her coming up and shining this light on everything. Because now the Most High sees it all, and man, she persevered through those who were tempted and worked against her. Oh, and there's a lot of gossip going on. Live and learn. Live and learn. It's got to live and learn. It's experience, it's training, it's development. See, for this high priestess, this was an opportunity for training, for experience, for development. I mean, yeah, you got to undergo a tremendous amount of pain. You know, when people get brutal, there's, especially on a scale as wide as it was, and, you know, that's just incredible. But people can be really brutal. And this person here, she was never alone. I think that those who were trying to bury her and keep her drained of her essence and her love and her ability to care at all, they kept getting shocked and surprised, I think. And it's because she wasn't alone. She was always connected inseparably to the Most High. Always. Even when she was on her face being dragged across the pavement in suffering, wounds all over, stabbed, essence being sucked out of her, you know, energetically having her root and her sacral harvested in the dream space over and over, you know, all their batteries, people were being used as batteries, and she was here getting that information firsthand, sending it on back home. So now they're being detached. They're in grief. There's been a lot learned. There's loss here. They don't know what to do because they've lost. Everybody's talking. There's a victory here, and there's an inseparable bond. There always was. It was never gone. They only thought it was. Marriage. There was a lot of doppelgangers, I think. See, they thought that they had separated her, and maybe they did. Maybe they did, you know, and they had a lot of other doppelgangers dressing up in her essence, in her energy, and they could have been doing atrocious things, behaving very poorly. But when he came and brought her back online and polished her up and then took a look at the history and found the consistency. It's like, this is who she is, this is who she is, this is who she is. Consistent. And then you got all these little doppelgangers running around, and they're not consistent. This one has this, did this deed. Okay, where did they go and what did they do after this deed? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what they did. All right, so now they're in fright because everything is clear. This Most High God, he's not settling for hearsay or, if there's multiple choices, then that just means there's a lot of freaking research and verification that has to happen. And apparently they didn't think that that was going to be seen or recognized. They're defeated here in this conflict. And they're bound to their commitments. You're making plans for the future. Your two hearts are one. Two hearts are one, inseparable in this marriage, and there's love here. You commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And perhaps that's what she was here doing. In the trenches, of those places that everybody said were addicts and criminals and all of that, that deserved, the worst. She was dressed up in karmic energy, and she lived that life with them. She knows, and so does the Most High, that that's what was happening to the people. Because you don't base decisions of this magnitude on hearsay or shallow investigation. You got to go real deep with it. This was a serious undercover operation that the mother went through, and she's reunited with the father, if you choose to look at it like that. And that's the way I choose to look at it. They never thought it would happen. They thought they were going to get a doppelganger to be chosen, but he's like, hello, do you know who I am? Loss. 5 of Pentacles, poverty, feeling your absence. They're in fear over this loss. They're overwhelmed. They're overworked. They want to escape. High Priestess is here, reunited. She has an irreplaceable love. The way she loves cannot be matched. It simply can't be matched. Like, this High Priestess loves like none other. And it's a new chapter here. Shining a light. Light is shining bright. Perseverance. Has her health and peace. Yeah. These ones are overwhelmed for trying to rob the High Priestess of her life, of her essence, of her connection to the Most High God. He's not happy. He's not happy. And these ones, there may still be some of these higher ranking a-holes, that are still around, harassing her, sending in people to say, hey, I'll offer protection. I'll be on guard. I'll be on the protection crew. But this is a third party trying to escape judgment. They lack discipline. So they're being sent in by somebody to try to infiltrate the protection crew of this High Priestess. Trap. They want to trap her, or they're going to fall into a trap. They don't have any discipline. They're in a nightmare over using sex the way that they did in these third-party unions, because the truth is out. So you're not done yet. Real estate, honesty, mega project. When the Hierophant and the High Priestess get together, they're going to have a mega project. Mega. They're going to take their wealth and they're going to start something real big. Those ones who tried to bury the High Priestess in their shame and their blame are getting battle ready. They're getting ready to do battle with the shadows. They're having doubts. They got to go live in the space that they put her in. They're furious. They got to go live in the spaces and the places that they put her in. And they're furious. The Hierophant's here in a soul tie with a relationship that serves the higher good and their mind. The health of the collective field that everyone shares. Man, I remember some of the things when these, don't even get me started on what these ones were filling the collective field with. It was atrocious. Horrid. What was running in the subliminals of the collective field was just horrid. Curse. 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 In the reverse. Hierophant, soul ties, always feels connected to the High Priestess, relationships that serve the higher good and the mind and the mental body. It's like these curses in the mental body are going to be lifted. Words, negative self-talk, those curses that had everybody seeing themselves as unworthy. I think everybody was cursed with that, seeing themselves as unworthy. I think that curse is going to be lifted. We got readiness here. Strategy. They can't curse the imagination of the relationships that serve the higher good. I don't know what they can do with each other. Their strategy was mind reading, and they bribed people who were prideful to attack the mental body of people, whether it be through third-party unions, destroying intimate relationships and really hurting people in the heart and in the brain, tearing up people's minds with sorrow and loss and fear, because the home would break up, and then where are you going to live and all this stuff? What happens if you have kids? Oh my God, I got to get rid of the dog. All this stuff, all that caused by that. They thought it was a bright idea to cause mental disturbances and nightmares for people. They prayed for it. The Most High probably heard them praying for it. He didn't answer their prayer, but there was somebody here answering the prayer. And now they're frightened because there's death here for what they did to eternal love. Or there's death here because they're frightened because death is here, and what remains will be eternal love. They prayed on your downfall when they should have been praying for eternal love. So they can no longer curse the imagination of the relationships that serve the higher good, the soul ties. They're no longer able to curse the mental body of these unions that serve the higher good. Nope, can't do it. And I don't think they're going to be able to curse the land. I don't think they're going to be able to curse the businesses. They're not going to be able to curse the mental bodies of the relationships that serve the higher good. They're not going to be able to do that. They're furious. They got to go fight. They got to go fight or do whatever, get battle ready in the shadows. Like whatever she went through, whatever adversity they put on her and made her go through is what they're going to get. Whatever they tried to bind her to again is what they're going to get. It's exactly what they're going to get. And they tried to bind her to this shadow. They wanted her in the shadows, fighting shadow people. That's what they wanted. While they were going to rob her of all her goodness, all her high priestess qualities. They did not know that the Most High God was listening the whole freaking time. They literally didn't know. She knew. You probably knew, in your youth, I mean, maybe not all the time, but, when you prayed, you could have probably got an answer on a few occasions. From he who has all authority, who sounds completely like a megaphone compared to the atmospheric agitators. I mean, when the Most High speaks, it's like a rumble. It's like it moves through you as a rumble. When these guys speak, it's just an irritating, When the Most High speaks, it's like that it's truth. That's unmistakable. Especially if you've been under in this kind of an atmosphere for many decades, and you've heard a lot of stuff over that time, and there's only one that speaks with all authority. I've heard him. I may not be that, but I'm definitely a daughter of the Most High. And I know that thousands upon thousands of they're like little gnats comparatively, literally. When the Most High speaks and tells you that they're going to get what they deserve and moves that energy through you, even if it's so gentle, you want to hop out of your body out of fear because it's scary. But he didn't do that to me. When he's told me that they were going to get what they deserved, all he did was move the essence through me, and I knew, man, if this is the gentle, then these ones don't stand a chance. I don't care how bad they think they are. And so it's odd, when people get irritated, and they start giving you the negative messages, and they think that they're going to do it because they have their claws, right? And they can dig into the synapses and stuff, and it's like, all for money. They did this all for money. They wanted money. Balance is being restored for the money. These ones who were doing all the atrocious things to gain it are losing it. Balance is being restored to money. And there's no more loneliness. There's a lot of gossip going on about this enemy being detached and in grief. There's a chariot here. There's a forward momentum and a willpower of the inseparable union between the high priestess and the Hierophant here. Those whose values were all about money are being met with death. Because just because, man, because what their biggest fear is now their reality. Because their biggest fear is now their reality. There still is until there's silence. We're not done yet. Because the family doesn't create antagonistic energies within the collective field. They don't do that. Only those who want to steal the wealth and siphon the energy out of everybody does. Waiting. You could be waiting. There could be waiting. They could be waiting. Excuse me. You're waiting. Planning for the future. 2 of Wands. Making decisions. Planning for the future. 2 hearts are one. In love. Committed to seeing the good in all things. And you're waiting. These ones lost all their money. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They're feeling your absence. They certainly are. And they're in fear over this loss. Everything. They lost everything because the Lord is home. Reunited with his irreplaceable love, and they're starting a new chapter. This was the plan from the get-go. Nobody can top the Lord's plan. Nobody can top the Most High's plan. Now there's a doppelganger out there who wants to be that. So you have to be careful where you place your allegiances. And I made a thing earlier about the truth. Don't go on hearsay. Don't go on what the masses are. You got to go on. You got to go within. And don't make decisions on what you see or what you're told. That's not where the wisdom is. The wisdom is on the inside. The wisdom is on the inside because you're intimately connected, inseparably with the Most High. So, just, you know it. You'll know it without a doubt. If somebody comes in, like this knight, who's coming in to offer protection, they're going to fall into a trap. You're going to know it right away. You're the high priestess, and your light is freaking shining on everything. These ones are in despair. They were trying to rob you. They're feeling overwhelmed. Or maybe they're getting robbed. They're in despair about being robbed. Those who are robbing everybody of their wealth and their love and their pentacles, their everything, they are now getting robbed, and they're now getting heavily burdened. And these haughty pleasure seekers who provided a service to get this wealth, they're in despair because everything's being taken from them. This sweetheart, this high priestess that they were stealing from, that they were hurting, that they were burying, trying to keep hidden so that this reunion never happened, She's a sweetheart. She is the gift. The high priestess is the gift. See, they knew she was the gift. That's why they wanted to bury her. They didn't want her reuniting with the Lord, with the Most High, with the God. They didn't want her reuniting. They wanted to keep her trapped and buried so they could forever and in eternity drain her of her happiness and her gifts and all of that. They just thought that they were going to be able to outsmart the Most High. I mean, they literally thought that they were going to be able to do that. They literally thought that they were going to be able to trap the counterpart of the Most High. They really believed it. They did not see her as strength, as sacred, as so much more than they even fathomed giving her credit for. It's really easy to pretend that you don't know anything. It's really easy to insert yourself as ignorance, as naivety, as insufficiency. Everybody falls for it. It's easy for people to believe that you don't have the capacity to be anything more than you're presenting yourself as. Because people in this realm see lack. They don't see potential. I mean, they see potential as far as what they think that they can see, but they don't see potential. They're in sorrow. Messenger, they got a bad message, or they didn't get the message. They got a bad message. They fell into a trap. They're not disciplined. The truth is out regarding their participation in third-party nightmarish situations, and so now they're in a nightmare. They're afraid because it's seen. They were a willing participant. Happily so. You can't take it back. You can't take it back, see? And that's the thing about mini cycles within the bigger cycle, you know? Is that you have plenty of opportunity to prove yourself or to change your mind. So they're surprised because, and they're not having any fun. They didn't get the house. They didn't get the house. They're in a Nine of Swords. It's seen that they were a participant in the third-party nightmare situation, so now they're in a nightmare. And there is this high priestess and the Hierophant. They're going to start a mega project. There's going to be a new way. The mental body of those who are in loving unions that serve the higher good are no longer going to, they can't curse them anymore. They cannot curse this relationship. They cannot curse relationships that are for the higher good. No more can they curse the mental body or the relationship of people that are in soul ties that serve the higher good. No more can they do that. They're going to prison. They're furious because they got to go fight in the shadows now. They got to go live through what they put this high priestess through, and that's their fate. And I don't know if the Hierophant, I mean, he could have very well come here to walk the walk too. I mean, he could have walked a different path to gather different information. And at this particular time, it could be the Most High raised up both of them. Both of them. Wow. They were cursed. The Most High is making it that they will never be able to do that again. Never. Ooh. These ones are furious. They are furious and in doubt, all up in their thoughts because of what their future holds for them. They're sad and melancholy. Constancy. Brought about the reunion. The fact that the high priestess was so consistent brought about the reunion. Doppelgangers aren't consistent cycle after cycle. They just put on a happy face or a sad face or a horror face or whatever kind of face for the moment, and then they move on to do other things, right? They fill the role, they get in, they fill the role, they're an actress or an actor. They go in for a week or an hour or however long it takes to do this ritual, wearing the mask, wearing the energy, and then they go off and they do their other thing, right? And even if they're doing this ritual once a month, they do the ritual, and then for the rest of the month they live their life however they live their life. But the high priestess didn't do that. She was always consistent. Consistently authentic. Good, bad, and ugly. Hiding nothing at all. Consistent. That means never being afraid to say what's on your mind. Never being afraid to express yourself authentically, even if it's a rage or a song or a cry. It's authentic. She wasn't out there dressing up and then saying, ooh, I'm a punk rocker, or ooh, I'm a classy business lady, or ooh, I'm this or I'm that, She might have shaved her head a couple of times just to see how the populace would react to her, to learn about the mindset of people, to learn how those who have short hair or shaved heads are treated by people. Like I said, the pathway to truth is very complicated and deep and painful. But these ones were willing to do it. They were willing to do it. And they're here reunited. And folks are sick. There's a young woman who's a servant who is sick. Servant, third party, a servant to try to destroy love. You can be happy that there is sorrow. Well, I guess maybe you could be happy. Maybe you are happy. Or maybe there's a cheerfulness. It's over, right? That these who were sending you misfortune, perhaps even a friend, are experiencing a disconnect. You could say that this is the room card is the mind. So you could say that your connection with whoever this friend is over. Like they can no longer telepathically communicate with you. Your connection to them in every which way is over. They weren't your friend. They weren't your friend. And again, it's like everybody's talking about it. Well, this one was a long read. I'm really happy that, Spirit was like, they can't curse the land, they can't curse the business. And now we have here the Hierophant with soul ties, relationships that are for the higher good. They can no longer curse the minds or the relationships or those who are in relationship for the higher good. The fact that this sweetheart high priestess was consistent in her authenticity allowed this investigation and research to be handled successfully and the reunion to occur. Okay, so now we're having a new chapter. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.